Hey, it's Tim with the University of Vinyl. This is just a testament to following through, keeping a regular schedule. Hopefully, you guys have time during the week that you can drop in on your usual regular haunts, be it a used record shop, um, an antique indoor flea market, maybe garage sales, what have you. I have a certain stable of regular places that I hit weekly, and I continue to be surprised, shocked, elated when I find great things out in the wild. It's the thrill of the chase, the thrill of the hunt. It's a lot better than dialing in a particular pressing on Discogs and hitting, pay. I just love the thrill of the chase, and I will tell people now, if you develop a weekly pattern, you only have to drop into these places for 10 minutes at a time once a week. If you keep up the frequency, the chances are you're going to increase your lucky quotient. So that's what today's video is about. It's a testament to keeping a regular schedule. An alternative title to this video could be the August finds for the month. Next week is Labor Day. I'm not including any of the records that I picked up at the Rocky Mountain Record Show. I did a separate video on that about a week ago. Check that out if you haven't seen it. But let's get into it. Here are more fantastic finds for the month of August. We may as well start out with a bang. This is the only album that I'm going to include today that has been in a previous video. I featured this in my record collecting masterclass video about country of origin. So check that video out if you haven't seen it. But I found this album earlier this month in one of those indoor flea markets here near Fort Collins, Colorado. Now from the face of this, it looks like, oh wow, okay, yeah, yes, fragile. There's a dime a dozen of those out in the bins. But upon further review, first of all, I was kind of really happy to find the condition of the cover, not a ton of ringware like you typically see. But then when I dug into the package and started reading the credits and some of the other kind of identifying clues, lo and behold, here in northern Colorado, I've got a UK Plum first edition, early first pressing, sorry. There is that gorgeous label, the UK Plum. This thing sounds amazing. I mentioned this in the other video, but Patrick, the vinyl archivist, he did one of his shootout videos, a blind shootout. This was amongst the MoFi One Step and some other pressings. The people who heard the different snippets of the same song set at the same levels, etc. A very objective test. The UK Plum won out over all the others, including the MoFi One Step. So anyway, found this for $30 in an antique or an indoor flea market that has all the different stalls of people. And I hit that place. I try to hit it at least weekly. I have no idea how this UK Plum ended up in there. It was definitely not priced at what it should have been. I'll take it. The thing's in near mint condition. I just picked this up last week. This is a very nice slice of late 70s funk. And it had a huge hit on it, We Are Family. That is Sister Sledge, the self-titled, or not self-titled album, titled We Are Family. with that lead-off single, first song on side A. This was on the Cotillion, kind of a pretty label there. Now, the story with this album is the ladies were backed up by Chic, produced by Chic as well. So we're talking about, of course, Tony Thompson on drums, who was definitely in the pocket on this album. He sounds amazing, coupled with the incredible bass playing of Bernard Edwards and Nile Rodgers with that distinctive lead guitar. This is pure funk pleasure. It's about a $7 or $8 album. I found a copy that again is in near mint condition. Highly, highly recommended. Very rarely do I find Brian Eno, those mid to late 70s iconic albums, out in the wild. And lo and behold, I found a copy of Here Come the Warm Jets. This is an early U.S. pressing on the Island label, the U.S. version Island label as it appeared at that time. This famously includes a lot of collaboration with the great Robert Fripp on guitar, as well as Phil Manzanera from his old bandmate from Roxy Music. This is an incredible album. I was really, really excited to find this in a used bin about 3 weeks ago now. Anything produced and engineered by the legendary Bill Schnee, and then mastered by Doug Sachs from the Mastering Lab and Mike Reese from the Mastering Lab. If you see any of those names involved, you should snap up that album if it's in great condition. This is something really interesting. This is Thelma Houston and Pressure Cooker. Pressure Cooker were basically a super band composed of Jim Gordon and Jim Keltner on drums. They basically got this band together for a couple afternoons in West Hollywood on Sunset Boulevard at the Producer's Workshop. And of course, this includes the big hit, I've Got the Music in Me, but Got to Get You Into My Life, a fantastic Beatles cover, is included on this. There are some jazz funk instrumentals as well. You got Tom Scott on horns on here as well, Larry Carlton on guitar. This is really, really cool. The Sheffield Treasury, I've Got the Music in Me. I paid about $6 for this. There is a very long essay about the recording written by Doug Sachs. And those are two photos of Bill Schnee on that cover. But really, really cool document. Thelma Houston, if I'm not mistaken, is the mother of Whitney. And this thing sounds absolutely amazing. Sheffield Labs, of course. Doug Sachs was involved in the forming of that entity. And they have some kind of legacy recordings that they put out under the Sheffield Treasury title. If you ever see this, pick it up. I mean, this was like $7. This is kind of like a test disc for your system. It sounds absolutely amazing. Mastered at the Mastering Lab. It's got TML, of course, in the dead wax. I've Got the Music in Me, Thelma Houston, and Pressure Cooker. Whenever I go record shopping, I've been eyeing all of the new Prince reissues. I know they've been reviewed quite well. I think Bernie Grundman has been involved in the reissues as he did the originals as well. But I wanted to find an original Sign of the Times. What a fantastic, it could be Prince's masterpiece. Even above, Purple Rain and other albums. A lot of people consider Sign of the Times, the double LP, to be the high water mark as far as Prince is concerned. I found a super clean copy of this for $30 at another indoor flea market here locally. It didn't have the big hype sticker included, but both of these LPs are in near mint condition. This was a specialty Records pressing, which I'm quite fond of specialty as far as pressing plants are concerned. This thing is very, very dynamic, punchy, sounds amazing. So many great songs. I am happy. This is one of the last of the earlier run of Prince albums that I didn't have in the collection, so happy to add that. This is an upgrade copy. I had this Supertramp album already in the collection, but when I saw the hype sticker, I did a double take. This is talking about the audiophile quality KC 600 audiophile vinyl. That's the extra virgin, not extra virgin, we're not talking about olive oil here. The super, it's a pure compound of vinyl that they were using. They also use a similar compound in all of those Qui-X albums that are translucent if you hold the albums up to light. This is also a translucent album. A fun Supertramp album, probably not my favorite, but if I see Qui-X albums or this KX 600 hype sticker out in the wild, I'm going to pick these up because they do sound absolutely amazing. This has got It's Raining Again. That was the hit on this album. There are some cool deep cuts as well on this. Supertramp, Famous Last Words. Okay, just last week I stopped into a small shop in Fort Collins, Colorado that I try to hit weekly, and I found the cleanest original pressing of Houses of the Holy I have ever seen out in the wild. I did a double take. I thought this was one of the Jimmy Page remasters that someone had put into the used bin. I was wrong. This is an absolute original. Unfortunately, not the Peckham cut, but hardly a blemish on the sleeve, which you definitely see. And then look how crisp that is as well on the edge. This is the double RL Robert Ludwig mastered copy. Really nice original inner sleeve. Picked this up for under $20. It's replacing another copy that I had that was kind of like a VG Plus. This thing is in near mint. What I love about this shop, it's called All Sales Vinyl, kind of a clever title to the shop. They've been in business for a few years now. They have a couple of ultrasonic machines in back. Everything that they put out on the shelves as far as used has gone through the ultrasonic cleaner, and really appreciate it because that is a great service to offer. That is Led Zeppelin, Houses of the Holy, 1973, early American pressing. Just over the weekend, I was at one of my favorite shops in Fort Collins, Bazaar. They were having It's Not Record Store Day. They do 2 or 3 of these a year. They will have they'll pull out all of their rare albums, all of their special stuff that they usually don't have out on the floor. And you have an opportunity to kind of pick through things and see what you can find. And what they did have was a very, very rare, the uncensored celebrity cover of Some Girls. This is pressed at Sterling, Ted Jensen. This thing sounds amazing. It's definitely an upgrade to what I had. I had one of the censored later pressing versions. There's that label. I'd say this is VG Plus bordering near mint. I've already given it a test run. Sounds fantastic. What an iconic, great Rolling Stones record. One of the last great Rolling Stones records. What did we have after this? We had Emotional Rescue, and then we had, of course, Tattoo You. Things started to slide with Undercover, in my opinion. But this is a late 70s, what was this, 1978, I believe, high watermark for the Rolling Stones, and was happy to find this incredible early non-censored first cover. I keep finding near mint copies of the CTI records, and this is one of the later Freddie Hubbard Polar AC. I saw somebody recently talking about this. Might have been the Jazz Bums, may have been the Jazz Shepherd. But when I start finding, or if I see CTIs in great condition, they're never very expensive. Such a great package, laminated covers, and the record inside is in near mint condition. Haven't had a chance to give this a spin yet, but I will be, and kind of prepping for a future. I'm going to do a CTI feature, I think, and talk about the collection that I've built up, all of the Creed Taylor CTI titles. Maybe I'll mix in a few Koodoos as well. I have a few of those. R.I.P. Creed Taylor. We lost him late last week. What a legendary guy in jazz world. This is another album that I rarely see in the wild around here. This is the 1984 fantastic album, Frankie Goes to Hollywood. Welcome to the Pleasure Dome. This is an amazing album spread across 2 different LPs. This is an Allied pressing. It sounds absolutely amazing. I love that cool, long, kind of meandering intro into 2 Tribes. And this was a gatefold as well. Very cool artwork inside. This was picked up at Absolute Vinyl in Longmont, one of my favorite shops. Doug Gaddy, shout out to Doug. He does Instagram flip videos every day that he has got the shop open, which currently I think is Thursday through Sunday. He'll give you a preview of what he may have, and you can reserve things. You can just send him a DM or a call, and you can get stuff reserved. But I saw that, I knew I had to get that because I had not been able to find this album. Okay, last but not least, this is kind of a grail for me that I've been looking for. I've had my eye on it. I've got an alert set up on Discogs to see if anything would pop up at a reasonable price. Found this last week, Tracy Chapman's debut album. Such a great album. It sounds fantastic on the Elektra label. Pick this up for under $45. There's just crazy prices right now on this album. 3 years ago, I should have picked it up for $29 or $30 or $35. I am seeing prices right now. I never see it in the wild, but on that Discogs alert, $60, $70, $150, $100, $90. Finally found it for under $45. Love it. Near mint condition. Found this last Friday. That's today's video. That's the roundup for the month of August as far as the hits I've had out looking in the wild. I think I included just about everything. I want to give a shout out. I've recently received some brand new orders for t-shirts and stickers. Thanks, folks. I'm going to drop a link to my merch store in the description of the video. Check it out. I have baseball shirts. I've got a really cool 100% cotton sweatshirt with my logo on it. We're coming into the season for that if you might be interested. I have holographic stickers, of course. These are really cool. And if you want an order of those, I usually pop in a couple extra just as a thank you. But check out the merch shop if you haven't already. Consider subscribing to the channel. That would be really appreciated. And please like the video if you like this content. Take care.